crowd at the Delta Center. And disaster for Phoenix in the fourth quarter. Randy Livingston running into teammate Tom Gugliotta, who leaves the game with a serious knee injury. The Suns led during the fourth, but this lay-in by Howard Eisley for Utah ties the scores at 96. With 5 seconds left, Utah coach Jerry Sloan calls for the timeout, but Eisley carries on and hits the three. As the clock counts down, Jason Kidd looks to send the game into overtime, but the shot bounces out. Utah with a 12th win in their last 14 games, snapping a 5-game victory streak for Phoenix. Toronto were at Sacramento, and after Corliss Williamson loses the ball, Antonio Davis finds Vince Carter for the fast break dunk and foul. But the Kings led for all of the first half. Corliss Williamson finds Chris Webber for the alley-oop. Kings up by 7. That lead stretched to 10 by the half. Vlade Divac feeds to Williamson for the jam and also the foul. Williamson and Webber kept it going in the second half. Williamson hits the tough shot over Carter as the Kings snap a 7-game winning streak by the Raptors.
My first season, I didn't feel like I was belonged. I belonged in the NBA. I thought I was on my way out, and I thought it was too hard. But now, you know, I feel like a superstar. I feel like an all-star.
Tracy McGrady's star has risen steadily since being drafted directly out of high school in 1997, leading the Raptors' second leading scorer behind Vince Carter.
I think, without a doubt, the best all-around young.
While McGrady's talent has always been apparent, so has his tendency to act, well, his age at times. He's been criticized for pouting on the court and for shooting both the ball and his mouth off too much.
His body language was from the...
If that was the case, then I can accept it.
Result in the first playoff appearance in franchise history.
Vince Carter am Boden, ein Bild ganz ohne Symbolcharakter, denn auch gegen die Bulls schwebte er über allen anderen und zeigte, dass er mittlerweile ein kompletter Spieler ist. Immer wieder kam die Frage auf, was macht er als nächstes? Ist es A, B, C oder D? Nun, unmögliche Dunks kennen wir ja, aber er ist immer wieder eine Zeitlupe wert. Vince Carter beim Fast Break und nur noch mit den Vitaminen A, C und D ausgestattet. Was also wird er tun? Das Ratespiel kommt nun in die dritte Runde und damit zu den unterschätzten Fähigkeiten von Vince Carter. 3 von 26 Punkten für Air Canada. Am Ende beweist er schließlich noch sein Auge für die Mitspieler. Zum Spiel gibt es sonst nichts zu sagen, außer dass es schlecht war. Wäre da nicht Vince Carter gewesen. Sacramento wollte gegen Vancouver nach 6 Niederlagen in 7 Spielen endlich wieder ein Erfolgserlebnis feiern. Und die Grizzlies gaben den dazu nötigen leichten Gegner ab. Im Gegenzug Barry auf C-Web und der mit 2 seiner 23 Punkte. Divac räumt hinten ab und vorne macht Williams schnell auf Webber. Das Spiel entwickelte sich immer mehr zur Jason Williams-Chris Webber Show. Williams kam auf 8 Assists und wenn er nicht zur Stelle war, machte es Webber eben alleine. Sacramento gewann 112:87. Die Hornets erwischten gegen Seattle den deutlich besseren Start, vor allem Eddie Jones stach mit 23 Punkten heraus. Doch bei Seattle spielt ja noch ein gewisser Gary Payton, der sein Team mit 32 Punkten, 8 Assists und 9 Rebounds antrieb. Die Hornets ließen in der zweiten Halbzeit kräftig nach und machten hier nur 34 Punkte. Die Entscheidung dann durch Tony Masons Fehlpass, der den Hornets die Chance auf die Verlängerung nimmt. Toronto gegen Boston und damit wieder zu Four-Way Vince Carter. Mit seinen 28 Zählern punktete er zum 58. Mal in Folge zweistellig. Kenny Anderson war auf Bostons Seite für die Highlights zuständig. Und so hieß auch in der Crunch-Time das Duell Kenny Anderson gegen Vince Carter. Erst brachte Anderson die Celtics 24 Sekunden vor Schluss in Trott. Dann Vince Carter. Mit dem Fehlschuss. Aber Toronto foult den richtigen. Vitali Potapenko. 3,3 Sekunden vor Schluss verschießt der Center beide Freiwürfe. Und Boston führt so nur mit einem Punkt. Toronto bringt natürlich Carter ins Spiel. Und at the buzzer, good if it goes. Yes! Toronto gewinnt das dritte Spiel in Folge, 96:94. Auf dem Basketballcourt bilden Vlade Divac und Chris Webber von den Sacramento Kings schon lange ein explosives Duo.
NBA, two of the league's most exciting teams do battle. C. Webb and the Kings tried to snap the Raptors' record-winning streak.
W najlepszym meczu ligi NBA New York Knicks pokonali na wyjeździe Filadelfię 82-77. Największy wkład w sukces nowojorskiego zespołu miał Patrick Ewing. Zdobił on 19 punktów i miał 21 przechwytów. W drużynie gospodarzy jak zawsze skutecznie zagrał Allen Iverson, zdobywając 30 punktów.
Between Cal State Northridge and Northern Arizona late in the first half. Northern Arizona, Ross Land hurls the ball the length of the court and the desperation heave is good. Land's Lumberjacks would go on to secure a bid in the NCAA tournament and pick up our World Sport Play of the Day. And after the Pistons led at the half, Scottie Pippen helping turn around the game for Portland in the fourth quarter. The former Chicago star with 18 points for the game, and Rasheed Wallace got 24. Detroit had one last chance to tie as Lindsey Hunter goes for the three with 10 seconds left. Portland, though, and a three-game losing streak.
For a win over Detroit last night, Mike Dunleavy said the Blazers really wanted this one because losing streaks, as he put it, are like a gorilla on your back. Rasheed Wallace had 24, Scottie Pippen added 18, as Pistons interim head coach George Irvin suffered his first loss since taking over for Alvin Gentry.
California rivals, Kings clicking early. Jason Williams leaves it for Chris Webber, wide open for the jumper, and the Kings led by 9 after 1. Shaquille O'Neal finding Robert Horry up top. LA within 3. To the second half, Kobe Bryant losing the ball. Williams on the break. Misses, but there's Webber to follow up. Kings back up by double digits. Back comes LA. Bryant driving. Leaves it for Shaq. The lay-in. The foul. Shaq had 39 points. And then Bryant hanging, hitting, drawing the foul. Kobe wasn't done. He would burst for a career-high 40. Off the missed free throw, here he is again. And LA stretches his NBA season-high win streak to 18 games. Let's review all of Sunday's NBA.
Captured the Big Ten title for the second straight year, and they did it in style. Check out this play. Mateen Cleaves to Morris Peterson, and he throws it down on the big alley-oop. Peterson was named tournament MVP as the Spartans won the conference. And Peterson also gets our play of the day. Back with NBA action, the Lakers tried to extend their 18-game winning streak in Denver on Monday, and Kobe doing his share. Bryant working on Chris Gatlin, then putting down the jumper. He had 22 points in the game. Second quarter, Lakers extend their lead. Shaquille O'Neal with a big slam. Now the Nuggets would come back in the second half. Van Exel working on Bryant later on, but Shaq here with another slam. Here is Van Exel. He drains the three-pointer. Van Exel would literally lead the Nuggets back into this game by himself, hitting another one from downtown. He had 17 points and 15 assists. James Posey with a steal and the big jam of his own as the Nuggets cut it to 1 point, but in the end it was just too much. Shaq, another big slam for him. He had 40 points as the Lakers win their 19th straight game, and that is the third longest winning streak in NBA history. Denver Nuggets player is trailing. He kicks off his shoe and keeps on playing. Now Kobe Bryant misses a jumper here, and the loose ball is picked up by the Nuggets. Watch Heron running the floor on the right side. He makes the pass to James Posey, who can't control it. However, Heron gets the ball back without his shoe and drains the three-pointer. It's good for the shoeless Trey and our play of the day.
At the Palace Wednesday night, the Pistons hosted Orlando. Jerry Stackhouse had the hot hand for the home team. His precise shooting had Detroit out in front early. Manchester, England native John Amici continues to show marked improvement. his offensive skills have really developed. Amici knocked down 22 points in the first half. The Magic keeping it close before Detroit goes on a brief run. Stackhouse right in the mix. He canned 19 points before the break as the Pistons built an 8-point lead after 2. Grant Hill became the 9th player in team history to reach 9,000 points. He finished with 24 on the night. Pistons widening their lead in the third quarter thanks to Stackhouse and Hill. Stackhouse 32 points, and Detroit wins to improve to 4-1 under their interim head coach, George Irvine.
We're on Sacramento's Jason Williams, but the play comes from the Clippers of LA. A wonderful no-look pass from Derek Anderson to Maurice Taylor for the slam. The LA Clippers are one of the worst teams in the NBA, and they lost this game by 20, but they pick up our World Sport play of the day.
Opener in Cleveland. The Bonnies took the favored Wildcats to 2 overtimes before coming up short. The little point guard from St. Bonaventure, Tim Wynn, didn't have a great game shooting, but his incredible effort under the hoop helped keep his team going. The Cats win their first ever double overtime NCAA. Also have a special number in mind. They bring the 3rd longest NBA win streak into Washington, and in the next 30 minutes, you will find out if Kobe and company could reach number 20 in a row. Horrible start in the nation's capital. The Wizards, who are headed in the front office by Mr. Michael Jordan, played perhaps their finest game of the season. Tracy Murray with a leaner, +1. Phil Jackson's team got its usual big production from Shaquille O'Neal, but here he can't convert the stuff. L.A. was down 19 at the break. This time, Shaq will get inside, get free, and bury it to trim the deficit to 8.
Well, you could see that coming.
Glenn Rice provided the hot hand from the perimeter. The jumper ties the game at 85 apiece. The rally, though, exhausted the visitors, who saw Mitch Richmond torch him for 32 points. So the 3rd longest win streak in NBA history is over. 109-102 Wizards, and that will make Mike happy. Here's a look at the rest of them.
Shaquille O'Neal and the Lakers took on Detroit, trying to rebound from a shocking loss to Washington, which snapped a 19-game winning streak. Kobe Bryant doing some damage early on, as did Shaquille O'Neal. The jump hook there, and more from Shaq down low as he had 21 points in the half and 35 points in the game. Now, Kobe Bryant also added 25 for the Lakers, hits the floater there, and then hooks up with veteran AC Green right here. Watch the give and go on the alley-oop. Kobe finishes off with a big slam, and the Lakers with a big win, 110-82. To Philadelphia, where Allen Iverson returned to the starting lineup after a 1-game suspension. Sixers taking on Utah, and Iverson getting in the mix early on, the alley-oop slam, and then takes Jacques Vaughn off the dribble and hits the floater. We were tied early on. The Sixers would take the lead. Karl Malone trying to keep his Jazz in it, but it was just too much Iverson down the stretch. 4th quarter, Sixers up 5, and they're up 8. After Iverson hits the 3-pointer, he had 24 points and 9 assists. The Sixers hold on to win by 2. And now, here's a look at the rest of the scores.
To be released, and Babcock obliged. Ryder later called himself a scapegoat for the Hawks season and said to suspend Allen Iverson for 1 game Thursday for missing the team's morning shoot-around prior to its game against Miami. But it's not just about one missed practice, said Sixers GM Billy King. Showing up late or not at all for practices has been an ongoing problem with Iverson.
Everybody knows that he has a heart of gold and he's very loyal, obviously to a fault. But at the same time, he continuously points the fingers. Many opportunities to practice. As you know, the NBA season is so full.
Elliott goes in on Mutombo. Welcome back. The mountain is still there.
The first 2 drives to the basket, it just, went so fast. It was just a lot of jitters. I was actually really surprised at how good I felt.
His defense, he is a defensive liability for the Sacramento Kings. They know it because a lot of the guards in the Western Conference are abusing him on a nightly basis. He's got to play better defense. He's a sensational money. He's watching a lot of opposing point guards throughout the league getting paid astronomical numbers. And even Terrell Brandon, who's clearly in the same class as Sam Cassell, not a bunch of notches above, signed a $58 million.
Spieler der NBA, Vince Carter von den Toronto Raptors. Seine spektakulären Aktionen lieben die Fans auf der ganzen Welt. Beim Duell Toronto gegen New York zeigte Vince Carter seine Stärken. 29 Punkte von ihm, insgesamt eine echte Führungspersönlichkeit ist er geworden. Hier im Duell gegen Patrick Ewing. Vince Carter richtig heiß, genauso wie sein Teamkollege Tracy McGrady. Die beiden derzeit wohl das spektakulärste Duo in der NBA. Tolle Defense von Tracy McGrady. New York nur mit 70 Punkten, keine Chance gegen die superheißen Raptors. Aus der vergangenen Nacht. Glenn Rice zurück an alter Wirkungsstätte mit den Lakers bei den Charlotte Hornets. Und die sind sehr heimstark. Das störte Glenn Rice allerdings nicht. 12 Punkte von ihm allein in der ersten Hälfte. Mit einigen Problemen Shaquille O'Neal. Sein zweiter Versuch. Und dann müht er sich noch gleich ein drittes Mal. Nur 18 Punkte von Shaquille O'Neal in diesem Spiel. Gegen die harte Defense der Charlotte Hornets hatte Shaq Attack seine Schwierigkeiten. Gut bei den Hornets, Derek Coleman, 19 Punkte insgesamt von DC. Aber der überragende Mann bei Charlotte, das ist ihr All-Star, Eddie Jones. Vielleicht zu viel Verantwortung muss er übernehmen, fast durchspielen muss Eddie in jedem Spiel. Schön abgeschlossen von Eddie Jones, aber dann zeigte Phil Jackson, dass seine Lakers auch Defense spielen können. Ein sehr starkes Schlussviertel vom Team aus dem Westen. Abgeschlossen hier von Kobe Bryant. Wieder Derek Coleman für die Hornets. Ein spannendes Spiel bis kurz vor Ende. Da führten die Lakers mit 2 und Glenn Rice mit dem vorentscheidenden Korb. 92:85 gewinnen die Lakers das 5. Spiel in Folge.
Der College-Spieler wird auch fehlen. Kenyon Martin, Power Forward der Universität von Cincinnati. Duke gehört wieder zu den Favoriten. 6 College-Neulinge sind bei den Blue Devils dabei. Einer von ihnen, Point Guard Jason Williams. 4 Spieler hat Duke nach der letzten Saison an die NBA abgegeben. Ein enormer Aderlass, der Folgen hat.
On Sunday against the New York Knicks, Shaq going to work in the first half. Great spin move on Kurt Thomas for the little deuce there. Later, Kobe Bryant feeds Shaq for the slam. 24 points at the half, but the Knicks were up by 1 at the break. Third quarter, Lakers up by 6. Bryant will miss the lay-in, miss the tip, but Shaq is there to clean house. He had 35 points after 3 quarters. Fourth quarter, Knicks trying to keep it close. Allen Houston gets the friendly roll. New York gets within 6, but in the fourth quarter, the Lakers go back on top to stay. Bryant hits the fadeaway three-pointer. Shaq had 43 in this game to improve to 29.02 points a game over Iverson's 28.98 points a game. To Toronto, where Vince Carter and the high-flying Raptors took on Houston. And this one went down to the wire. Check out this three-point shot by Vince Carter, who bounces 8 times on the rim before falling down. The Raptors with a 2-point lead. Cuttino Mobley ties up the game right here, but Carter has the last laugh. Check out his drive to the rim, throws it down. He had 37 points in the game. Toronto have now won 11 of 12.
Pojedynków na poszczególnych pozycjach. A to najefektowniejsze w tempo zagranie Charlie'ego Warda do Patricka Ewinga. Świetne odegranie do Kendiego.